All right, everybody, welcome back to BSG. We are the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering. We organize bi-monthly gatherings here in the Benelux region for speedrunners. Now, we've got a special treat for you with Pokemon Gold being run by Crrool. Crrool, the stage is yours.
Hello everyone, I'm Crrool. I'll be running Pokemon Gold in just a second once my controller decides to respond, and then we'll just dive right into it. We are going to be immediately closing off the trainer name, because we are going to need that in just a second. So Nordic, if you could close that for me and let me know who the winner is. Then I
Doing so right now, and it looks like the winner for that is my name. Literally M-Y space N-A-M-E.
All right. So, I'll just do the countdown and we'll do the rest once we got started. So, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, welcome everybody to Pokemon Gold. Before we get started, I'm going to set the clock here to 3 a.m. because we're going to go on a quick midnight stroll through the region and then pretty much beat the game in a matter of, like, less than an hour, probably. We're going to play closing off the trainer name in just a moment as well, so this will be your last chance for that. But first, we are going to name the name, and with that, Nordic, I imagine there'd be some donations to go along with that, so feel free to read those out.
Excellent. Well, we do have 10 euros coming in from Leaf. It says, thank you to everyone involved. Speedrun marathons are the best. Can't help but to agree. We've also got 10 euros from Tomaine that says, let's be immersed. And then we've got 20 euros coming in from Steel Morrigan. No comment, but thank you so much for your generosity.
All right, so Pokemon Gold. We got ourselves the Poke Gear here. We're going to say the day is Sunday. That's actually going to be important for this run. And then it is time for me to close off the Totodile name. So if you could close that for me and let me know who won that.
All right, one last refresh.
Do check your bids as well, just to be sure.
Yep, looks like we are good with Rikatony. Spelled R-I-E-K-A-T-O-N-Y.
All right. So we're gonna pick our starter Pokemon here. We're gonna use a Totodile. But before I do, I am gonna save the game because this tends to not always go quite the way you would want it to. So hopefully we'll get a good one. Or at least something that's runnable, because I don't want to spell this name out like 10 times over. Rikatony. There we go. Alright, so, to briefly explain Pokemon Gold, I mean, you guys probably all know what Pokemon is about. We pick ourselves a Pokemon, we go through a bunch of gym leaders, and eventually you get to fight the champion, become the champion of the region, yada yada yada, we win. Okay, I can run this. We just picked ourselves a starter Totodile. This Totodile is kind of awful, but it's good enough. Like, I don't like this one, but it's good enough. So we're just gonna go with it, and hopefully we will not get screwed over by RNG. At the start there, I was looking at my stats to determine what kind of, or how good they are, basically. The stats in Pokemon are determined by what's called DVs. In newer generations, it'd be IVs, but since this is Gen 1, they are called DVs. And essentially what that means is every stat has a randomly assigned value between 0 and 15. 0 being absolutely awful, 15 being absolutely amazing, and, you know, everything being, everything in between basically being in between. Judging by the height of our stats, I can kind of determine how good or bad they are. So at this point, I know my attack is acceptable. That's the most important one in this one. My HP is really good, which doesn't actually do that much for me, but it's nice. My special is amazing. My defenses and speed are god-awful, and those are probably the second and third most relevant one for this particular category. So we'll see how it'll go. With that out of the way, the professor has sent us on a little bit of a side quest to go and grab the some kind of discovery from some kind of professor. We're going to find out that somebody has discovered the egg, as this game kind of introduces the idea of breeding, which is a new concept in Generation 2. And in the process, we're going to get a Pokedex. We're going to, you know, be able to get set up and do our thing. Now, the downside is, unfortunately, you know, we're going to have to walk there, and encounters be awful like that sometimes. That's just how it is. Not much we can do. But we're going to make our way there, get ourselves the Pokedex. We've been getting pretty unlucky with this so far. So yeah, the average amount of Pokemon that you're going to get up until getting to the professor is 5. No, 4. I think we got 5 or 6, so could be worse, but definitely not what we would want to see. All right, we're going to talk to this guy. He's going to give us the mystery egg. We're going to get the Pokedex, and I guess at this point I should probably properly introduce myself. Hello everyone, I'm Crrool. I've been involved with BSG for many years now, and you know, as a bit of a last-minute filler, we're doing some Pokemon. I run a lot of Pokemon, every single Pokemon game out there pretty much. So if that's your cup of tea, you know, Pokemon speedruns are just awesome. Go follow a bunch of Pokemon speedrunners, because there's a lot of cool people out there. This category in particular, any percent no save corruption, is kind of like the old any percent. I want to say recently, but really it's not all that recent. It's like 2 years ago at this point or something. They discovered a glitch that essentially allows you to beat this game in about 10 minutes, which is kind of boring. Not very interesting to show off. Like, basically, it just gets to the point where you can get Pokeballs and then it beats the game. So we would almost be done with the game at this point. Kind of a boring run. Definitely not interesting to show off. So instead, we are going to do the old any percent, which is any percent no save corruption. Meaning I can do anything except corrupting the save, as the name would indicate. This one's about an hour. It requires quite a bit more, but it's still, you know, it still uses a buttload of glitches. Or really just one really big glitch. So we are going to beat Red in that hour. That's the goal. Red is going to be our endpoint. But we're going to beat him in ways that, you know, we wouldn't usually beat Red. Let's just say it like that. So we're going to fight the rival here. There's one thing I quickly want to check, because this... Yeah, okay, I was about to say, the text felt a little slow, but that's just me. I'm too used to running newer generations again. Alright, so this is the rival. The rival sucks. Not in that he's actually difficult to beat. It's pretty easy to win this fight. But he's just mean. And we're going to call him out on that. So the strategy here is fairly simple. We're going to leer once. Hopefully he doesn't use Crrool, and we're going to just scratch him until he dies. Now, because my speed is god-awful, I will actually be slower. Normally, we would be in a speed tie, meaning that there is a 50% chance for who goes first. But yeah, as a result of our god-awful speed, he is always going to go first. This is actually where it becomes kind of scary, because it is possible for me to be slower than him on the last time that I have to fight this rival in this run, and that one can actually be very dangerous. So I may have to take like 1 or 2 optional trainers to mitigate that a little bit. Okay, important stat increase here. We're going to be learning a lot about how good this Pokemon actually is. That is not what I wanted to see. I kind of missed my defense there, but if somebody saw if that was 12 or 13, you know, that'd be very helpful. But if nobody did, that's also fine. In any case, our stats, not great. Definitely not what I was hoping for. Our attack is mediocre at best. Now, don't get me wrong, I can work with mediocre at best, but it's not what you'd like to see here. Anyway, we return to the professor. We learn that a Pokemon has been stolen from the lab, and we get to now name our rival. Now, because this was a bit of a last-minute incentive, and because we're only going to see this name like one more time in the entirety of this game, we did not make this an incentive. But there we go. So we just name him A. We're literally only going to fight him one more time in the entire game. Okay, seems our defense could have been worse. It was 13. So, yeah, that's helpful. There was a chance that it was 12, and if it's 12, you are basically screwed for the first gym. And, at 13, we are still not in a great position, but I can make that work a little bit better. So yeah, we're going to now work our way towards the first city. On the way, I'm going to be picking up a berry, but other than that, there's not that much happening. This guy's going to ask us to if we want an explanation of how to catch Pokemon, but you know, I've been playing Pokemon for about 20 years now, so I think I know my way around catching Pokemon. So I guess while we make our way back, Nordic, if there's anything you want to talk about, now might be a good time.
Absolutely. Got a couple things queued up here. First and foremost, we've got a €3 donation from Clover. It says, "Hey, Crrool, I want to be part of your run." Heart. Well, thank you, Clover. And then I do want to remind everybody that the next run coming up is Sonic 1 Forever. And we do have a incentive there where we are trying to raise €150 to change the category from Solo Sonic to Sonic and Tails. Right now, we're at €20 out of that 150 that we need. So, if you want to see that run get changed up, get those donations in now.
Alright, so we're going to move to the north here. The first gym is the Violet City Gym, which is the Flying type gym. The Flying type gym is actually one of the main reasons why we specifically decided to go with Totodile and not with either Chikorita or Cyndaquil. The problem is Chikorita just dies to Gust. It's awful. Don't play Chikorita. And Cyndaquil struggles a lot with the final trainer or the final Pokemon from the gym leader, which is a Pidgeotto with Mud Slap. So you kind of need to grind a bit to do that. Totodile, on the other hand, gets one amazing move, and you will see that move in action very soon once we've actually reached the gym. It's called Rage. We don't have it yet, but Rage is kind of broken. At least in Gen 2. It's a really bad move in most games, but in this game it's kind of broken. Essentially, it doubles in power-ish, or it increases in power every time we get hit. And we tend to get hit a lot, especially early on, making it really, really useful for me to use that. Okay, before we actually get to that point, though, it's kind of important for me to have another look at which, especially what my speed is here. If we see 12 on speed, we're actually in a phenomenally good position. It is 11, 15, 14, 12, 13, and that is 25 and 11. That is really unfortunate. So if that had said 12 speed, then I would have known that we were on 12 DV, or sorry, 6 DV. 6 DV is not amazing, but definitely good enough. I can work with 6 DV. Now I know it is at most 5. Anything under 2 can become a really big issue. So that's what we don't want to see. Anything under 2 is like 0, 1, or 2 is awful. 3 or 4 is also really, really bad. If it's 5, I can still be okay here. So yeah, that guy over there, that bug catcher, he is the first spinner of the game. A spinner is basically just a trainer that spins around randomly. We're going to try to dodge most of them. There might actually be a few that I might fight on purpose, potentially. We'll see. Actually, come to think of it, maybe I should have fought him. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually fight this Rattata. There is a reason behind this, believe it or not. So the idea here is there is a trainer, an optional trainer that I can fight later. that will allow me to get Water Gun earlier. It isn't actually that slow to fight it. But getting that extra experience might make it so that our stat problem isn't as bad. But if I don't fight at least something beforehand, then that trainer will not. Like, it just wouldn't work. Alright, time for the first gym. I mean, we gotta pick up the pace, right? First things first, yeah, we'll give one of these. I will use a potion. I would have preferred being able to use a berry, but I had too much damage on me. We really need to be full health, especially at my defense. So we're gonna go into this fight. This is the hardest fight in this run. Possibly. No, that's not true. It's like the second or third hardest fight in this run. I have had marathon runs where I died like 3 or 4 times on this fight, and it can be awful. Hopefully that won't be the case today, but we will find out. The strategy here is fairly straightforward. We have the Spearow, who is 2 levels higher than us, and deals about 8 damage per hit. With really good defense, it only becomes like 5 or 6 damage, and you're basically safe. But because our stats are this low, that's not the case today. This is also why I equipped that berry. That'll heal us back up a little bit. Okay, that's good. 15 and 16 chance for us to win now. Good. Okay, we win. So yeah, you can kind of see how this fight becomes incredibly scary at times. 16. This is 12. That's not good. This is not good. 28. Oh boy. I am not happy with those stats. Okay, well, we're gonna heal up some more again. We are gonna give the bitter berry, and then it's on to the second fight in this gym. So we're not gonna learn that much on this next level up. Just something about how good or bad our attack is, or rather, how bad it is. When we picked the Totodile, it displayed 12 attack, which tells me that it has somewhere between minimum of 5 DV, maximum of 14. It's a pretty big range, but obviously we want to be on the higher end of that range. Problem is, now that we know a little bit more, I know that it's either 5 or 7, which are basically the 2 worst possible outcomes, so I am not all that happy about that. This Pidgey misses quite a lot too, which isn't great, but that I can work with that. Okay, how much do we have? That is 5. Alright then. Our attack is the absolute minimum runnable attack. This, yeah, it is safe to say that this is really bottom of the barrel runnable Totodile. Absolute bottom of the barrel, and I'm kind of regretting that I didn't reset for another one, but too late for regrets. Let's get going. I'm gonna need to heal this because we are way too low. I don't have the means to heal to full, but that's okay. Okay, there is one more redeeming possibility. On this next level up, I need the speed to say 16. If it is not 16, this is absolutely bottom of the barrel Totodile, and we may be in for a rough one today. In any case, this is Falkner. He's the first gym leader of the game. He is not all that difficult usually. The strategy is fairly simple. We do exactly what we did in the 2 previous fights. We rage, we then get hit by tackle. At this point, it only does 3 damage. And we start building up our power quick as we can. That's a crit. That's a little unfortunate, but we should still be okay here. Next, he's going to send out his Pidgeotto. And this is going to be a 2-shot with Rage, I think? Okay, I was about to say, that is a 2-shot, right? Okay, what's our speed? Oh boy. Okay, well, I know enough about my speed now. It is, yeah, we are in for a rough one. Okay, so, now that that's out of the way, we have now beaten the first gym leader. We are going to make our way to the second one, but on the way, I'm going to have to take a few optionals. I hate to admit it, but with this set of stats, I have to lose like 2 minutes to fighting some optionals. Which sucks, but it is what it is. Before we actually head on, though, we are going to go into the Pokemon Center here, and we are going to, first off, heal our Pokemon, because we desperately need a heal. And then we are going to get the egg. Now, before we actually get to the next point of the run, I need to catch a Wooper. Normally, I would also have to see a Bellsprout. Because of our god-awful stats, if I don't see a Bellsprout, it's actually not that bad. There are options if we don't see a Bellsprout. Like, I have an optional trainer that I can fight, which wouldn't actually be that bad. Okay, for some reason my controller decided to disconnect. That's great. Okay, there we go. I must have hit the connector just a little bit in the wrong way. In any case, time for us to head south. There's one more trainer that we have to fight here. Like I said, on the way, I'm kind of hoping to find a Wooper and a Bellsprout. Wooper, that's amazing. That is absolutely something we need. So this means that we know for sure now that we can finish this. Like, the thing is, in order for the glitch that we are going to do to work, we need to find a Wooper, or we need to catch a Wooper, because I need a Wooper in my party, otherwise it won't do. And I need to either see a Bellsprout or a Machop. Now, the Machop I can find. That's on a static trainer if I needed to. Bellsprout would be a little more ideal, but at this point it's not worth sticking around for it for me. But I will get it if I see, or I will, you know, if we see one, we see one. But at least we didn't lose like 5 minutes to trying to find a Wooper, and that's actually great news. I have absolutely had runs where I lost 3, 4, 5 minutes just to trying to find a Wooper. Wooper, I think, is like 20-25%, something like that. So you can get unlucky there, but luckily that didn't happen today. Okay, this particular trainer doesn't seem to be the one trolling us today either. Supersonic hitting is really unfortunate, actually. So I kind of take back what I said. Leech Lives is what we wanted to see. Now, I have a protection against a single confusion, but not more than once. So there's a chance that we're going to have to deal with some confusion shenanigans later. Okay, just gonna pick up a few heal items, because we are definitely going to be needing these. And now we're gonna go into a fight I wasn't hoping to need to take, but we are gonna just have to go for it. So, this trainer right here is completely optional. We don't have to fight him. He has a Goldeen, and we kind of need the experience. The experience is going to give me Water Gun, and getting Water Gun this early will allow me to fight a Geodude in Union Cave. Now, hopefully the experience from that level 4 Rattata will be enough, but we will see. I should probably do a Leer here. So this is what I was worried about. We just kind of have to work our way through that. There isn't much I can do about this confusion. It's 50% each time. But from this point on, we have an opportunity for us to just get out of it. That's really bad. Oh, we're still confused? I kind of... Oh, that's bad. Well, I saved before the fight. Oh, boy. Yep, that's not good. That was not good. We really do need this experience, unfortunately. There's really not much that I can do about that part. We got pretty unlucky with hitting ourselves 3 times and with not getting out of the confusion quick enough. But that is just how it is. Sometimes the RNG is just not in your favor. At least we don't have to look for a Bellsprout. I'm just gonna go and get the, or fight the Machop trainer. But yeah, this is the level up that I needed. This is what that all was about. We are going to need this extra experience. I need to get an extra level before the rival, otherwise the rival is going to outspeed me, and that tends to be really, really annoying. That makes an already really RNG-heavy fight even more RNG-heavy. Alright, in any case, with that all out of the way, Union Cave over here. First things first, there are a few trainers here that we are going to have to fight. Union Cave itself is very... very RNG heavy normally. Now, because we already got Water Gun, I can fight this trainer. I'm actually going to fight this intentionally. Both the Goldeen trainer and this trainer are normally trainers I would try to avoid. But our stats are just not good enough to allow me to. Our IVs, or DVs are just stupidly low. So we have to make that up somehow, and an extra level will do the trick. Okay, this one also gives me an extra potion, which is nice since we had to use all of our heal items. And then over here on the right. So this is actually why this isn't too bad. Normally fighting the Goldeen trainer, assuming you don't lose, isn't actually that bad, because it takes like 4 turns to kill the Goldeen. But you actually save those 4 turns again on this fight. Otherwise we would have to rage on these Geodudes, and that takes a while. And instead of that, I can now just use Water Gun. So that is at least one advantage that we have going for us. Doesn't make it fast, but at least it makes it a little less awful. Now, before we actually get out of this place, though, there is one more thing that we're going to pick up, which is an X attack. We mainly want that to make the Bugsy fight a little more consistent, but we also need extra X items to increase our happiness by a bunch. That happiness is going to be important for trying to get a TM later on that we need for the glitch, because we need the TM for return. And for return, you can only get if your Pokemon has a certain amount of happiness. Okay, this spinner I am going to attempt to dodge. It's just that simple. We're just going to try to dodge this. I'm already losing time on Union Cave due to that death and the 2 extra trainers, so... Oh, I kind of thought he hit me, but that works. So here's that X attack. So there's one more trainer that we need to fight before we're out. It's a Vulpix trainer. Very easy. So yeah, I think with that, I'm just going to give Mr. Nordic a little more time to talk a bit.
Well, thanks. I just want to remind everybody what we're here to do, and that's that we're raising money for Mind. Mind is a nationwide organization that is committed to preventing mental health issues, and they help to support everyone who's dealing with mental issues themselves or within their family. So all of those donations that are coming in will go directly to Mind. Speaking of donations, we are 90 euros away from matching BSG Online 5. That'd be a real nice landmark to hit during this run. So get those donations in, and yeah, put them towards our upcoming incentives as well. We've got that Sonic and Tails incentive, and we also have the Tuxedo incentive for MGS3.
Alright, that was the last trainer of Union Cave. Now, like I said, there is one extra trainer we're going to have to fight outside of Union Cave to get that much up, since we didn't see a Bellsprout. The trade-off for that is that I didn't have to stick around, search for a Bellsprout, try and figure that out. So a fair trade-off, to be honest, but something we do have to do here. I'll probably use one of the potions that I have to just quickly heal up. We have a potion, we have a super potion, and I have money to buy more stuff, and we will very, very soon. Alright. So, last extra trainer that I'm going to be doing, intentionally at least. But this one we need to do, especially because of the second Pokemon that he has. We need to see this for the glitch to work. Because this way, we don't need to worry about Bellsprout anymore. And hey, it's a nice bit of extra experience on top of that, so really it could have been worse. That is really unfortunate that it didn't die to that. I really don't like that extra damage, but so be it. Okay, with that out of the way, it took us a little longer than I would have liked, but here we are in Azalea. This is the town with the second gym, and we are going to be fighting the second gym leader fairly soon. But before we do that, it turns out Team Rocket has taken over the Slowpoke well, and yeah, we can't be having that. They're cutting off the tails of Slowpokes, and that's mean. We don't like it when people are mean, so we instead are going to give them a lesson in pain, or at least that's what Kurt wants to do. Now, I do tend to agree. Quickly dipping in there just in case we die somewhere so that I don't get sent back in one way or another. We want 4 of these. We want an escape rope. We want 3 repels. And we want 3 of these. Now in the back here, there's a full heal that I'm just going to pick up just to give myself an extra little heal item that we can work with. And then into the well we go. So the Slowpoke well has 4 trainers. Most of them are fairly straightforward fights, but some of them do have the possibility of trolling. Hopefully we are not going to have to deal with that too much. Both the second and third trainer have Pokemon that can confuse me. The first one mainly just deals a lot of damage, but we have super potions anyway. Alright, we're just gonna scratch here. That is a really, really good critical, actually. So, that Rattata does not die in one hit unless you get a critical hit. So it is actually kind of nice for us to get that done. And then there's the second one. Goodbye, Rattata. Moving on. Okay, first fight, basically, like, that is basically how you want that fight to go. That could not have gone better. Let's see if we can do that again for the second one. Because this is where the fights in Slowpoke well become a little bit more interesting. The first one, just 2 Rattatas, like, they deal damage, but it's nothing else. This one can confuse me, it can poison me, it can just be a pain in the butt. So, we don't like this one. We're gonna go for Water Gun. That deals over half. Leech Life is good. We like to see Leech Life. That means we're not gonna get confused on this one. And honestly, the poison isn't even that bad. The confusion is really what makes this fight a problem. Okay, the Ekans, not really a big deal. We deal with that. That's a crit, isn't it? That is another crit. Okay, we got poisoned, but outside of that, that was a really, really good fight. Like, sure, we got poisoned, but honestly, I don't even mind the poison that much. Because we saved a turn on the Ekans. We didn't get confused. So I will take that fight any day. Now for probably the scariest fight of the Slowpoke Well. This guy has 2 Zubats and a Rattata. Now the Rattata does not... we can scratch it, we can water gun it, it doesn't die. That's not a big deal though. The Zubats are generally 2-shots, so both of them are going to have a chance to confuse me. And if the first one confuses, that means we need to hit 3 more moves through confusion, and that can be a pain. It seems our over-leveling, combined with our 1 good stat... I should probably have mentioned this at some point, but our special is actually good. It's our only good stat. But that helps. I did not expect... Like, that was probably a high roll, but I did not expect we were going to one-shot that Zubat. Or Rattata, I mean. Very useful. Okay, 1 more Zubat here, and then we can move on. Okay, we just need to hit through the confusion once. We've dealt with worse. That is not what we like to see. Okay, we get another chance here. Come on, game. Please work with me. Okay. I will take it. That third fight was kind of not great, but I will take that. 26 health also means that I don't have to heal before this fight. This fight's always a bit of an annoying one. There's a decent chance that you need to heal before this. But at 20... What was it? 26 or something? Or 28? I don't need to heal here. We should be okay. This coughing will take a few hits to go down. We get healed right after this fight. It's a scripted heal. You cannot avoid it. So we're okay with taking damage so long as we just don't die. Now, he missed the poison gas. We're done. We're good. That is the Slowpoke well done. That was an okay Slowpoke well, honestly. If it wasn't for the confuse and the poison, this would have basically been a perfect Slowpoke well. I'm happy with that. So, now for gym number 2. So, first things first, the Pokemon that we decide to fight first, here we can actually influence that. The way that the twins worked in Generation 2 is that depending on who you talk to, you get a different Pokemon first. We're going to go for the slightly more risky strat here of going with Ladybug first, and that pays off. So basically there's 2 ways you can do that. You can, if you don't have the Bitterberry, you're generally going to go for the Spinarak first, unless you want to play a little more ballsy. Spinarak has the disadvantage that it can slow you down. It has 2 moves that slow you down, making you slower than the Ladybug. Scary Face would have done that. But the Ladybug has Supersonic, so it can confuse you, which is generally why you'll want to do it this way around. Now, we are going to get a very early evolution here. This is because of all the extra trainers we did. This is kind of intentional. Like, this'll make Bugsy completely free, which is nice. But probably more importantly, this extra level should make it that I don't have to worry about the rifle as much. Now, it also means that I can probably do with slightly fewer X items, although like, this situation doesn't happen very often, so I don't remember how many X items I would need to buy here. So I might just buy any the normal amount anyway. That is a really unfortunate barely not killing it. That was really close. Oh, come on, really? Now this is just mean. Alright, we are gonna have to heal off that poison. That is really unfortunate. That's a really unfortunate turn for that fight to take. But we are gonna just pass this this spinner right here. Don't trust this spinner ever. Okay, good. We already got more than enough extra experience, so I don't really need to fight him anymore. We really, realistically shouldn't need to save before this fight, but I kind of want to play it stupid safe right now. Plus, it's not, you know, we should be okay. We should have time. Let's just go to rage. Actually, before I should have X attacked. Yeah, let's use up that X attack. I should have X attacked and then rage. That was the strategy here. It doesn't really matter a huge deal, so. There we go. Easy fight. That's one. Now let's go for the second Pokemon. Okay, we don't mind that hardened that much. Does this still kill? It still kills. Good. This might not, though. Although the Scyther has no way of killing me, so we win either way. Because there is no way that Scyther has anything on us. Okay, so this gets me to level 19. Normally we would get level 18 off of that Scyther. So this helps me a little bit going forward. We get the Hive Badge. We are going to be going towards Ilex Forest. Before that, we have to still deal with the hardest trainer in this run. Once that trainer is out of the way, though, we are pretty much in there. Like, from there, it shouldn't be too difficult to finish this. But this is the fight why I took a few extra trainers, why we've been kind of playing a little sketchy here and there. You know, part of the game, right? Part of the game. First, we give that. We use a super potion. We teach Fury Cutter. This is very important. We don't need Scratch anymore. We don't use that. We save the game. That's probably the one place where you absolutely always save, because this next fight is just awful. Alright, here we go. So this is Rival 2, the big run killer of the game. The first and last Pokemon are generally not that scary. The second Pokemon is awful. The Rival here has a Bayleaf, and that Bayleaf, with our speed, actually might be able to, or at least speed tie us, because our speed is so awful. And it can do a lot of things that kill us, so we will find out. It does, at least, we're at worst in a speed tie, at least. That's good. Reflect, that's good. I don't like the Razor Leaf. Okay. The extra, without the extra level, this would have at best been a speed tie. At level 18, that one would have at best been a speed tie, and we might have even been slower. So, the level up was absolutely required. But this is good. This is good. This puts us in a really good position. Okay, Rival 2 done. Smooth Rival 2 fight. Next up, we're going to make our way through Ilex Forest. This is... we're going to do a bit of a far-fetched quest. We're going to get the HM for Cut, make our way to the next city. before I actually enter the next city, I have to remember to get a TM in the, not this building, but the one on the other side of Ilex Forest. That's an easy one to forget and a really bad one for me to forget. But other than that, we should be good for this part. So, yeah, Nordic, I guess while we make our way through the forest, feel free to chat about some stuff. This will be the last time that you'll get to this run.
Right on. I do appreciate it. I'd like to just remind everybody that, aside from the BSG events and their own marathons, ESA hosts many other events across Europe, including the British UKSG, we've got Hackathon, and we've got much, much more. So make sure to drop a follow to see whenever we've got something cool going live.
You've got more time. Feel free to keep going.
All right. Oh, you can also stay updated with what's going on by following us on Twitter and Instagram. The handle that we are using is BSG Marathon, and that'll get you a behind-the-scenes look of the event. It can help you to stay up to date with the latest news on our marathons, events, and more. We're also in the process of uploading all of our VODs to our YouTube channel over at youtube.com/BSG Marathon. So be sure to check it out and subscribe to find one new video per day in your feed.
So you might have noticed there that my rappel wore out exactly before the cut tree. That's completely intentional. We counted out so that that happens. Because of that, we can do everything in one menu, and that just makes it a little bit faster. And with that, we have some more forests. So, Nordic?
All right. What else can we talk about? We, again, are raising money for Mind. We are, just huge into this organization. They are committed to preventing mental health issues. They help to support everyone who's dealing with mental health issues themselves or within their families. And so far, we have raised 1,310 euros for that cause. And again, we are only 90 euros away from matching the prior BSG Online 5. So get those donations in and help us to break some more records.
Thank you, Nordic. Okay, that'll just about do. So we pick up the TM for Sweet Scent there. We're going to be using that sort of in a little bit once we are getting to the glitch. We have made our way to Goldenrod City. And this is where the magic is going to happen. Because you guys might at this point be wondering, okay, wait, this guy says that he can beat this game in an hour. We are 46 minutes in. He has literally, 2 badges? How is that going to happen? Well, I'm going to tell you. Well, rather than tell you, I'm actually going to show you. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to buy some X items here. This is because I need to raise my happiness to get a certain TM. It's probably worth pointing out that in the optimal route of no save corruption, this is actually not required anymore, but it requires doing a very specific trainer ID manip, since only about 1 in every 64 trainer IDs actually work, and I ain't got time to sit here and reset for a 1 in 64 trainer ID. So that's the thing. We're going to pick up Kenya here. Kenya is our 4th and last Pokemon that we're going to need. We now have our full team, but we are not entirely done yet. So we are gonna go down here, and we're gonna use those X items to increase our happiness. We need to do all of this to get that TM, but once we have that TM, we're gonna do some magic, and then we'll have beaten the game. This trainer fight is fairly straightforward. He's got literally 2 Slowpokes, level 10. We're a level 20 Croconaw. He's got nothing on us. So we're just gonna spam here, spam those X items here. Now you might have noticed that I bought both Special and Speed. The reason for that is that I need to use 13 X items total. And if I were to pick 13 of the same one, we would, every time we get one, we would use one after the 6th one, we would get an extra little text box that says, your stats didn't actually increase. That's kind of slow. So instead I'm opting to use 6 of one and then 7 of the other. So that instead of getting that text box 7 times, we only get it 1 time. It's just few more turns. Hopefully this Slowpoke either misses a few tackles or uses a few growls, because I really can't use him continuously using tackle. That would get me a little low on health. Makes this fight a little scarier than it needs to be. Okay, that should be good. So at this point, we're just gonna water gun. We are on +6 special, so our water guns and like -6 attack because of all the growls. So at this point, our water guns actually deal more damage. So yeah, I actually, looking at it, would have been fine not to use up all of them. Because with, we leveled up one more time, so I could have done with, I believe it's 5 fewer or 3 fewer X items, but that's okay. I wasn't entirely sure if it was going to work out, and honestly, it only worked out barely, so. Okay, this is where we use the escape rope that I picked up earlier. And now it is time to pick up return, and then we're going to do some shenanigans. In a little bit, I'm going to do some box coding, and this is to set up the main glitch that we'll be using. It's kind of a form of arbitrary code execution, where we are going to manipulate the game to do exactly what we want it to do. Now, it is worth noting, this glitch has a 1 in 3 chance of failing. We get to use it, we get to try it 3 times before we would really be in trouble. So hopefully that won't be necessary. Hopefully it won't fail at all and we can just make it work. But if something goes wrong, yeah, that can happen. That might happen. It's not unrealistic. It's a 2 in 3 chance to work though, so it is not too bad. Okay, first and foremost, let's do some box names. So I'm gonna actually need to focus on this one for a moment, because this is the difficult part. Is that correct? Female E. Yeah, that looks correct. Okay. Okay, almost done. Only 2 more names to go. Okay, and the last one. There is actually a slightly shorter version of this one, but it would make the credits crash. So I'm going to use a slightly worse one, a slightly slower one. Cross apostrophe D. Alright, so teach return to Whooper. Whooper learned return. Give sweet scent to Whooper as a held item. Swap Whooper and Kenya. On moves, swap return and water gun. Okay, so this is where the glitch is going to happen. Let's see if it works. Time might be happening in, well, less than a minute. If things work. Okay, we go to the Pokedex here. We look up the entry for Machop. I gotta look where Machop is. Usually I have Bellsprout. There it is. We then use the coin case. Okay. So this is what happens when it doesn't work. This is the 1 in 3 that it doesn't work. Which makes the game just look very weird. I believe this is what we need to do to try again. Let's see if we can make it work the second time around. Oh boy. This is attempt number 3, and honestly the last attempt I can do. We got the 1 in 3 twice now. This is our last chance, otherwise we have the 1 in 27 chance of this run failing. Oh, come on, seriously? I'm gonna check my codes one time to check that it was actually on me, but I think that means that it's over. So what's supposed to happen there is you're supposed to then get 0 Pokemon and wrong warp to the end. But somewhere we are getting very unlucky. I'm checking the codes just to make sure that that's not the issue, but it seems like we got the 1 in 27 chance. I've never had that in a marathon. Yeah, that's the 1 in 27 chance of this run just not working. So I'm unfortunately going to have to say that these weird colors are as much as you're going to get to see, because it would take too long to get more time for the more chances at it. So unfortunately it did not finish. There is a 1 in 27 chance of that happening in a run, which sucks, but I'm not going to hold everyone up. So sorry we couldn't see the end. Be sure to follow like the Pokemon community. Discords on speedrun.com. You guys know the drill. If you like to see more Pokemon, you know, I run this sort of stuff quite often. Enjoy BSG. Keep on donating. Thank you everybody for having me, and enjoy the next run.
Right on. Thank you so much, Crrool. So yeah, we do have Sonic 1 Forever coming up, being run by HUD 601. So stick around through the intermission, and we will be right back.